Hey, this is Hans from Dakota Angler and Outfitter. In this video we are going to tie a Perdigonis jig, and we have a size 14 Hens BL 154 with a 3mm copper bead in the vise. You can change that to whatever size and kind of match the bead to your color scheme. I'm going to tie this with 70 denier thread, and I'm going to use a lighter color, even though my tinsels are going to be dark and I could get away with a dark thread. I kind of like overlaying any of these tinsels or body quills over the lighter base of a lighter thread body. Kind of lets the color shine through. So these are the Hens Perdigonis tinsels here, and that's what we're going to use for kind of body of the fly. There's a couple different ways to tie these flies, but basically it's a very quick sinking kind of mayfly shaped nymph. And what you can do is use this style as a template and tie different colors of this style of fly. Kind of use flash more sparsely, or like in this version we're going to use a fair amount of the tinsel flash. But what we're going to start once we've got our thread base on is by just tying in a coq de leon tail. I'm using brown here, but you could use a natural like medium pardo or light pardo. Trim off our excess. I'm going to start with kind of greenish body tinsel here, Perdigonis tinsel. This is the fine version. Tie that in, wrap back to the base of my tail, come forward. You can build just a slight taper here. I'm going to keep this fly fairly thin. Flatten out my thread. Just build a light taper going forward. Now you can see I got a little bit of a taper there. We'll take our tinsel, and on this fly I'm going to actually just wrap the tinsel solid all the way. We'll do another video where use the tinsel more as like a ribbing. Okay, so now I've got there, I'm going to tie that off. Save my tinsel for another fly. What I'll do is take a contrasting piece. This is more like a UV purple. This tinsel comes in a lot of different colors, so you can mix and match. If we do light fly, dark fly, brighter fly. You can come up with a scheme that works best for your water conditions. So now I just built in a little more taper, and I'll take this purple over the top. Just adds a little contrast in the thorax area. And I'll tie that off. Trim off the excess nice and close. So now I've got my tinsels done, and I can just do a small whip finish. Now if you did a light color thread to allow that to shine through those kind of nice light undercoat, so that the tinsels kind of maintain their color without being changed by a darker thread underneath, but you want to not show white at the front, you can just take a marker before you whip finish and just hit a little bit of your thread there. Go ahead and do your whip finish. I'm just going to do kind of a 2 or 3 turn whip finish, it's not going to make a big difference on this fly because we're going to coat the whole thing in UV resin anyway. So that's done. Trim my thread. Okay, so now these flies all come alive once you kind of put that tinsel, or excuse me, put that UV resin over your tinsel. So I just got to drop a thin there. You could use bone dry, the ultra thin as well. Go around, just make sure you got a nice even coating and kind of maintain your taper. Spin that a little bit to keep it even, and then hit it with your UV light. And the great thing about these flies like this, when you maintain a fairly thin profile and you coat it with epoxy or the UV resin, what you get is very little, resistance in the water column, and they just cut right through the current, get down and get to the level of the fish very, very quickly. So that's why these flies tend to be so effective, is in fast water you've got that little bit of flash, or a lot of flash in this case, that's an attractor, but you're also getting down almost instantly to where the fish are. So definitely a style of fly that you want to get several of in your box in different sizes, different shades, and get them out on the water. It's a deadly fly that's really starting to catch on here in the US. So tie some of these up and take them for a swim. Thanks for watching.